This is really important, particularly for parents, is that while it's super important, I guess the most important thing, right, that our kids' needs get met, nothing's going to happen if our own needs are not met. So if I'm starving and on the edge of a nervous breakdown because I'm sleep deprived and I haven't eaten and he's screaming at me, maybe I should stop and eat something before I deal with them, right? So sometimes they can hold on for 5 minutes while I eat a sandwich, and take a few deep breaths. And that teaches them that I know how to self-regulate. I know how to take care of myself. So they start to see, okay, mom can take care of herself. She, like she doesn't come at, I just sort of remember being a kid, and my mom wouldn't eat and would be flying off the handle. Sort of shows you, well, if I see my role model taking care of herself, it kind of gives me the tools to do that. Let's see. There's an author, Alfie Kahn, and he wrote that even giving kids bribes or rewards is problematic because then they're doing things for the wrong reasons, right? Like they're doing things to get, like I'm going to be nice to you because I'm going to get a cookie from my mom. Then he's just doing shit for cookies. He's not doing it for the being nice to you, So really kind of encouraging kids to do things, sort of, they have that understanding, and they'll see it when it's modeled for them, that you do things because the rewards you get, they're not cookies, they're not gold stars, they're being of service, right? And connecting with people in your community. And since he's almost a year, it hasn't come too much into play for me, but I know and have seen that it really, like especially around the potty training age, well, none of you, I'm going to assume that none of you have potty trained a child yet. Good luck to you. Wish me luck also. But anyway, like he's not going to be pissing his pants when he's in high school. I don't have to trip out and give him gold stars and, like he's got to be potty trained by this time and this is wrong with him if he, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom's favorite rule, and I love this about potty training, is just let him run around without a diaper, right? In the summer, outside for like a couple hours, and they get it. They do. Just let him like hang out outside in the summer when it's warm. It seems to work with her. She does preschool. So anyway, the second one is has self-love and respect for others. Obviously, lots of loving physical contact. Don't deny physical contact from your child. I see a lot of people like, no, I don't love you now because you're misbehaving, and I think that sort of, it just, it puts, so I have to act a certain way for you to love me, and then an idea is really to love kids unconditionally, right? It's interesting that a lot of the reading that I've done stresses the importance of breastfeeding as like loving contact. I'm going to just say not all of us are going to breastfeed our kids because some of us can't, right? Maybe we're dudes. Maybe our breasts don't produce milk, right? So also I want to say just because you're a radical punk rock parent, don't let people make you feel bad for not breastfeeding your kid. Also, circumcision, ear piercing, any sort of like physical modification, I don't do to my kid because I wouldn't tattoo him, right? I wouldn't put any mark on him that he doesn't get to choose himself. And I feel like those things for me are all intertwined. I'm not going to subject him to physical pain for something that I choose. Doesn't make any sense to me. It also shows them that their bodies are our property, and kids are not our property. It's our responsibility to take care of them, to show them like how to be safe, to give them guidelines, to feed them and stuff, shelter, But their bodies are not ours, I really think that kids don't need to be trained to be good. I think that and this is part of like having self-love, respect for others, that they'll learn to be compassionate and unselfish if they're trusted and not taught that they're bad or wrong, that there's something wrong with them. Trying to force kids to act unselfishly results in submission, and submission results in following the system's rules, and we don't want that. I don't want that. I don't know about you. Is not fearful of the world and its citizens is my third goal. So I think that a lot of us accidentally parent by fear. I was at a play date with a friend of mine, and her kid like started to run out into the street, and she goes in well, not in clear English, I tell you what. She goes like, "Oh, that's scary. There's monsters in the street, right?" There's no monsters in the street. There's a car, it might run you over, but there's no monsters. Things aren't scary. Like talking to kids, like in the language that we want them to learn. That kid actually, by the way, is 2 and has barely has a grasp on language because she's not taught the language that she needs to be learning, right? So, but anyway, that's my own tangent. Not fearful, right? So not teaching them fear of germs, right? Things are dirty, right? Like my mom is always tripping out, telling my kid, "This is dirty, that's dirty, watch out, this is dirty, that's dirty," and that like doesn't that quickly translate into don't touch your body's dirty. Don't touch other people are dirty. And where does that go? Fear, Obviously, forms of punishment such as spanking. I know, like, I was spanked as a kid. I don't feel totally fucked up over it, whatever. But I'll say that it seems like that sort of instills fear. And I think that fear begets hatred. And I think also that spanking leads to this desire to like exercise hierarchical power. You know what I mean? Like I'll spank you, and then like I'll turn around and see a kid spanking his doll and saying, "No, you're like here now. I've had power exercise over me. Let me turn it around and reenact this dominating relationship." So I really found with my kid. Like when he was small, and when they're real small, they put everything in their mouth. Their mouth is sort of how they check out the world, right? It's like another pair of eyes. So I just let him like go around and put shit in his mouth. He would put tree parts or whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to let him put anything real dangerous. I care about him and I care about his welfare. No poison, obviously. No whatever light sockets and shit. But letting him use his mouth as another way to explore his world. And I'll tell you, he stopped putting things in his mouth a lot quicker than a lot of other babies. So because he did that, he tried it out, he learned things, done, check. Let me move on to the next way that I find out about things.